We are back with another Home Depot Kids Workshop, and today we are making battleships. And guess what? They're going in the water. Today we're going to make them out of wood, but if you can't get your hands on one of these kits, we're going to show you how to make it out of cardboard and just items from around the home. Hi, I'm Serena.
I'm Kojo. I'm Ahane.
And I'm Kwabeno.
And today we are going to have a lot of fun building battleships. Your kids are going to love this one. So let's jump into this project right now. You'll get one base, one deck, one cabin, 2 smokestacks, 2 turrets, 2 long nails, 2 short nails, 2 screws, and you do get a pack of stickers. Your kids will need some safety glasses and a dust mask for sanding, but you'll also need a hammer, a No. 2 Phillips screwdriver, some sandpaper, and don't forget the wood glue. Start with sanding each wood piece to remove any rough edges. Remember, sand in the direction of the wood grain and glue and nail all of the pieces together and let the glue completely dry. For step 1, lay the base down with the holes on top and place the deck on top and align those big holes. You're going to use 2 of the short nails and then nail them together. You will have an extra short nail just in case you lose one. For step 2, lay the cabin down with the holes on top. You'll start 2 long nails into the holes close to the angled front edge. You do not want to start a nail in the center hole. That's going to be for the turret. So remember, leave that one free, and you'll glue the cabin on top of the front edge of the deck. Now make sure that the front and side edges are even, and then you simply nail them together. For step 3, it's time to add the smokestack. So you'll add a little bit of glue, just a dot inside of each of the big holes in the base, and then push the smokestacks into the holes. Now if it's a little tight, use a hammer, tap it in there if necessary. Now, if you are leaving your battleship unpainted, or if you want to add paint, just be sure that you don't paint any of the holes that are remaining. There's one in the base and one on top. Those should not have paint because for step 4, we're going to be adding the turret. So for step 4, we're going to place the turret on the front of the base and align the holes. Using the No. 2 Phillips screwdriver, attach the turret with a screw and adjust that screw so that the turret moves. You don't want to have it too tight and you don't want it too loose. Repeat to attach the other turret on the cabin. And then simply add the stickers as shown and you're done. But you can't have a battleship without putting it in water, so for this next part, we're going to test these battleships using the workshop extension activity that comes with the kit to see how much weight can these bear before they sink or before all the load falls off. So let's jump into this right now. What we needed was a basin, some blocks, and our battleships. And not only was this a lot of fun for the kids to build, but they got to play in water, and it was educational because with the workshop extension activity, the kids had to make a hypothesis. How many blocks of wood do you think you can carry before your battleship either sinks or flips over? And of course, this was slippery. We used painted blocks. The instructions do say to use unpainted, but this is all we had on hand. We were able to discover that about 11 was the sweet spot before it toppled over. So a lot of fun for the kids. But what if you don't have one of these? Can you still do this? Yes. You can use cardboard and materials from around the home to make something equally cool. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now. You'll need 1 to 2 cereal boxes. And I'm going to be using the cap from some shaving cream, but you can use anything. Maybe a lotion cap that looks like a turret. You'll also need some toothpicks, pencils. I'm using 2 of these caps that look like turrets, a paintbrush and paint, hot glue, and also a utility knife or scissors. And don't forget, you'll need a ruler. You want to start by cutting your cereal box completely flat. Now, there is a pattern that goes with this project. You can print it out from the blog post. It's a free download. Print it out, lay it on top of your cardboard, and start cutting all the pieces. You'll have a top and bottom and one side, a cabin, and then also 4 pieces that'll comprise the deck. So we're going to start with the side. Now, each of the sides have a 1/4 inch border. This is essentially what it's going to look like, but these markings will be on the pattern that you download from the blog post. You'll use your pencil and just mark the notches that you see on the pattern. These are going to be the fold lines, and we'll need a ruler in order to draw these perpendicular lines. So once we have all the lines drawn where we have the marks, we're going to just fold it. And so once we fold it, it's literally sort of like origami. And we'll fold it on each of the lines and then use our scissors to snip just in that 1/4 inch seam area, and then do it on each of the lines. Now, once we have all of our snips, we can fold these edges in 1/4 inch, and this will allow us to join the top and bottom to create the battleship. Use hot glue to attach the top and the bottom of the battleship to the side. You'll put hot glue in that 1/4 inch seam, making sure that the edges are neat and clean. And when you've got one side done, flip it over. Looks like a little canoe. Finish gluing the other side, and then it's time to work on the cabin. Now, you do have a pattern for the cabin as well. Just fold it according to the instructions, and it's really just going together with hot glue. And when that's done, it's time to move on to the next step. The next step is to cut out the holes for the smokestacks. Now, we're using pencils here, and this will depend on the size of your pencils. So trace out the size of your pencils. You can cut it out with a utility knife and scissors, and you can also do this before you assemble your battleship. Either way is fine, but make sure that you keep the hole kind of small, and then insert the pencil in there and make sure that it's a tight, snug fit. We'll also create 4 pieces of cardboard that will stack together to make the deck. Next, we're going to take a little bit of hot glue and attach the deck to the battleship, making sure that those holes match up and that the pencils fit. You can use a utility knife to cut the pencils. Just be very careful and make them about 2.5 to 3 inches. Insert them into the battleship to make sure they're the right size. All right, we're going to paint the turret caps. These are the ones from the shaving cream, and spray paint actually works a little better for that. But for the body of the battleship, you can use regular craft paint. We're going to do a little bit of gray on top, and on the side, we're going to do black, and on the bottom too. We're going to hot glue the cabin to the top of the deck. You can use your utility knife to very carefully make a small hole and then take one of the toothpicks and insert it into the cap. You'll want to work it down through the cap until you got probably about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, making sure that you don't break it. It will come out the other end. And once it's to the length that you would like it, then just snap it off and you'll just have a little piece kind of sticking out the top. That's okay. We can paint that and cover it up. Use a little hot glue to secure that toothpick on the underside, and then use a nail or a screw to poke a hole in the top of the cabin. Insert the toothpick, and now you've got a turret. And to finish the look, we'll put a little bit of hot glue on the end of another toothpick, insert it into the turret, and make sure there's no glue seeping out, and then use our scissors to just cut off the long end of the toothpick. And now we can do the same to the other part and create our windows and do the little finishing touches. And guess what? We're going to put this in water. I did add a little bit of decoupage sealer on the bottom, so the cardboard version didn't get destroyed. Unfortunately, it was not quite as strong as the wood, and it only held about 6 bricks. The kids did get their certificate of achievement and their workshop pin, which comes with the wooden kit, the battleship kit you can get from Home Depot. But I think this turned into a wonderful project, and I know your kids will enjoy this too. This was a really fun project with battleships and water, and we made a really cool cardboard one. If you can't get the kit, you can get it from Home Depot or homedepot.com. But remember, just some items around the home, you can make something amazing. This is a collaboration between Home Depot and Discovery Education, and you can find this project and a lot of other projects at sciencefaircentral.com. So go there because we've done a lot of cool projects and your kids will love this. I'm Serena.
I'm Kojo. I'm O'Hare. And I'm Kwabena.
And we will see you the next Home Depot Kids Workshop. All right.
We out.
Good. We out.
I want to see what it was like.